In the next step of this lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about audio editing. Adobe Premiere Pro CS6 includes some basic audio editing. You can import an audio file the same way you import video clips and other assets. Although you can edit audio files and add audio effects in Adobe Premiere Pro, many suggest a better way to use a dedicated audio program such as Adobe Audition to create and edit your soundtrack and then import these files into Adobe Premiere Pro. That's for another lesson, but today we're going to stay in Adobe Premiere Pro and I'm going to show you a few things. Now, the next part in our pledge project, we already have our title. Now we need to have the narration of the American Pledge. Let's view it in the source monitor. Alright, so we have the audio. Now while we have the source monitor open, here's a few tools. Mark in, mark out, go to in, step back left, play stop, step forward, go in and out, insert, overwrite. What we're going to do is, since this is audio only, we need to drag audio only and put it to where it starts right after the title clip. Now this will show us how long we need our video footage to be. Okay, one thing to know about audio. It looks like it's at a good level. When you play, the meter doesn't bounce to the top. You don't see no red marks. If you ever run into that, I'm going to turn it up. See that? That means it's too loud. You might get feedback on some speakers. So I'm going to adjust the audio level by just dragging that line. You might give yourself a little more view here. 0.07 decibels sounds good. So along with the audio, let's sound a little patriotic with the U.S. National Anthem theme. I'm going to hit play. Okay, that sounds good. So I'm going to drag that down here. Now I want to have that start with the title. Now watch the meter bars. Now the music kind of drowns out the narration, which defeats the purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself some more room here. I'm going to drag the level bar down to -8 decibels. Just listen to it. It's still too loud. Let's go to 16. It may even can go a little further, as long as you kind of lightly hear it to kind of get you in the mood. Now, what do we do about all this extra? I'm going to hit minus to zoom out on the timeline clip. We got all this extra. So I got the arrow tool selected. I'm just going to see that when you put your mouse over, it changes. Just click and drag. At the end, you may want to fade the audio out. Now there's two ways to do it. One's a quick way and one's a little bit longer. You can go under effects, audio transitions, crossfade, constant power, and do a fade out. Now let's zoom in. What it does is fades that out. Now you can adjust it in the effect controls, or you can click and have a longer fade out. So that's the first way, which I typically use more often. Now the next way, we're going to get into a little more advanced stuff. Alright, go under Effect Controls, and under Audio Effects, you got your levels here. Now if you ever worked in Flash, you might remember keyframes. We're going to add a keyframe in frame 1, and then we're going to go all the way where we set the out for right there, and we're going to add a keyframe to the level here. Now basically from here to here it's going to be normal volume level, and then I'm going to go to the final part. As you see on the timeline here, you can zoom in by pressing plus or minus, and I'm going to add a keyframe, and then I'm going to lower that decibel down to the bottom. Alright, so now you see it level off at that keyframe. From here to here it's level, and then the last one it declines. Now you can see it pictured right here too, so I could click and drag. I can even click and move this keyframe over and up, so you can have a longer fade. So that's the trick. Now let's listen. And that's how you use keyframes for fading in and out audio. One last thing I wanted to show you about audio. I mentioned earlier about editing in Adobe Audition. Now in order to do that, you can have the timeline selected, or you can select an individual audio clip or multiple clips. In order to open it in Audition, you just click Edit in Adobe Audition, and you can choose Clip or Sequence. Audition opens. Now why would you want to do Audition? Well, it's more advanced, geared towards specifically audio. It'll allow you to remove some noise, do multi-track editing, and you have a lot more options when it comes to editing the audio and making it sound more clear, crisp, or getting out some ugly noises that you may not be able to get out in Adobe Premiere. Here we go. As you see, our audio is playing. What's great about this is all you have to do is make your changes on the single clip and go File, Save, and the changes you made in Adobe Audition are automatically applied to the clip in Adobe Premiere Pro when you save it in Adobe Audition.